Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this key 78 entitled Matrix, Different Reality or Different Realities. Well, today we're gonna see the reason for being of this very fascinating topics, and also we try to lay down the background and to see the perspective. The goal is really to get awareness, okay, to open up the doors of consciousness, to be closer to the consciousness with a capital letter, referring to the previous key and the previous series of video. Well, this is a very large topic, very large subject, endless, without any beginning. It's probably before our existence, but it is let's say, animating mankind since the beginning. And even before our gaze, before our observation. But this is already, let's say, emphasizing the key question of if there is a tree falling down in a forest and there is nobody, okay, to perceive, to see, or to hear, is there any sound? So this is one of the questions we will try to reply within this series of videos. But what is sure is the fact that reality is changing constantly. Well, we're gonna try to define the concept of reality. Is there only one? There is multiple realities. There are 8 billions of realities, because the population currently is 8 billions of people. Is there 100 billions of realities? Why 100? Because since the beginning of humanity, there were a bit more than 100 billion of inhabitants on this planet. Okay, so even the ghosts, the entities, and so on, okay, are part of it. Is there a reality for them? Or even more. So when we say the world is like this, maybe we should say my world is like this, because we will try to see that everything is a question of observation and perspective and perception. But the key question will be to try to see the membrane with others and other realities with other people. What is the matrix? Are there civil ones? Okay, we're gonna see 12 different videos because it is existential and essential topic, for it's the basis of our existence and our essence. Well, we'll try to see through different axes and angle of vision, angle of perspective, from very simple to complex, simple of complexity and complex of simplicity, you know, down to earth, absurd, philosophical, spiritual, physical, metaphysical, esoteric, mystical, and so on, so forth. It's a life, let's say, a work, lifetime work, let's say, and also individual and collective work. And this is something I spend more so far, because it's endless, it's evolving. If I do this video in 1 year, it will evolve, because I did this topic in the past and I had different things when I updated recently. So it is individual and collective and evolutive perspective. Okay, so this is essential in the initiatory quests, okay, in the process, the infinite process of awakening, the fact to question, okay, to question the reality, the realities, to understand individual and collective patterns of our reality. Well, what is a matrix concretely? A matrix, in etymology, in Latin, matrix comes from matter. It means concretely mother. Okay, it provides a support, a structure, is served to surround, to reproduce, and also to build. Okay, so in other words, it's a kind of structure, a canvas, a pattern, a framework, a plan, a paradigm, and so on and so forth. In mathematics, the term matrix means, allows to classify and to interpret sets of numbers, okay, with data table of double entries. In biology, this is the matrix is the uterus, okay, above the vagina, okay, so giving, let's say, surrounding the baby to give birth, okay, to mature the fetus to give birth, okay, so this is literally a structure. In neuroscience and cognitive sciences, this is the matrix, is the structure, the orchestration leading to action through cognitive biases, meaning their incorporation and their effects and or their rejection. Okay, we will see what are the cognitive biases. Okay, the cognitive biases, what are they and how they impact us. Okay, either we integrate it or either we reject them. Okay, but they are influencing us. Okay, in spirituality and esotericism as well, the Maya, as the Hindu call it, the Maya is the illusion of our reality through the mental constructions. Okay, individual and collective construction. Okay, that to say the egregores, the archetypes, the self form and so on. What we saw in the key in the series of video 74, and so on. Okay, what's the goal? The reason for being of the series of video is the goal is to understand the reality, the realities, the matrix, and to get out of it. And by knowing the functioning, okay, the filters, and the interaction between things and people as well, and why? To get out of it, okay, to get rid of it, and to see beyond of the veils, the filters, okay? Literally, this is what we call apocalypse. Apocalypse in Greek, in former Greek, means revelation. Revelation means that you take it out, you unveil, okay, your perspective, your vision, okay? You have filters and you take them out, but for that you need to identify them. It's to realize the real lies with real eyes, if you can get it. I often say, this is from Rumi, the great Sufi who lived there, 200 kilometers from here in Konya. He say, the truth was a mirror in the hands of God. It fell and broke into pieces. Everybody took a piece of it and they looked at it and thought they had the truth. Okay, everybody take just a single piece, pretending the entire truth is there. But I say to you, and I explained in previous, there is another way, another perspective of vision through this metaphor. Each component, each piece of the mirror is reflecting as well the entire patterns of the all small pieces as well. So a small piece is containing the entire wall, the wall of the entire broken mirror. I personally like to say the absolute truth is the sum of the relative truth, or in other terms you can switch truth and reality. The absolute reality is the sum of the subjective or relative realities. Concretely, this is what in philosophy Kant, the philosophers say, the German philosophers say, objectivity is relative, therefore subjective. For him, it doesn't exist, the objectivity. There is only subjectivity. Subjectivity is the fact to have an angle of vision. Okay, and an angle of vision is not 360 degrees. I like the interesting concept of intersubjective reality and or collective fiction that we will try to define later. I always take the metaphor of the Rubik's Cube, you know, the game, okay? You play like this. So a cube for which you have 6 colors, okay? If I show to you, you're gonna say, okay, it's yellow. I'm gonna say, no, it's red. And here you will say it's green and probably blue and so on, okay? Everybody is right according to the perspective. Why? Because there is 6 colors for this Rubik's Cube. But we could consider that, and this is life would be as a gigantic kaleidoscope, okay, for which there are an infinite number of faces. So here are some faces of kind of reality, and especially with some question. We're gonna question a lot of things and topics. First of all, when you wake up, sometimes you have had probably the feeling that everything was absolutely true into the dream. You had a fear, you had a pain, you're losing someone is dead, a relative or someone that you don't know at all. You don't know when you wake up, you say, I didn't know this guy, why I was so crying and so on. Or, I don't know, you had a love story and you are making love with passion and so on. It's so intensive, your senses are really aroused and so on. And you wake up and you have really this almost tangible feeling that it was real. So what's reality? A true story reveals that a guy has been put into kind of big fridge, okay, a room, okay, of course, and he was perceived that he was minus some degrees, minus 10 or 20 degrees and so on. And he has been found frozen, but the temperature was 13, 14 degrees Celsius, okay? So it was just a perception. He thought it was, the room was frozen. So he has been creating this, this coldness within. So it is what we call somatic. So is this real? Question mark. Some schizophrenics, this is not all the doctors agree with that, but apparently there are some proof. Some, I say some, not all of the schizophrenics with 2 personalities, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, okay, they have 2 different personalities. One of them has diabetes and the second one doesn't have. How is it possible? Is this real or not? The diabetes is real for one personality, and the non-diabetes, healthy state, is it real or not? I invite you to meditate on that. How is it possible then, under hypnosis, some people become completely straight, you know, like a piece of wood or even iron, and it's impossible for them to be flexible, but you can put them, you know, on a peak, and they will keep on staying strength like this, and they will be not completely, they will be not injured at all. This is strange. Same for those under hypnosis, for which they can go on the fire and so on, and the epidermis is not burned at all. And on the other way around, if you inject what we call induction, okay, in hypnosis, if you suggest them, okay, you are touching, let's say, a fire and so on, and it's just a suggestion, it's not true. They can develop some stigmas, okay, and they are injured, they are burned literally. This is real or not? I invite you to think about this. Imagine you have an accident and you have a total amnesia. You lose your mind, you lose all your memories. So people are helping you to get them back. Or you have the choice to become someone new, okay? To choose to be someone different from your past. So is this real? Is this reality in that case? Am I the fruits of my memories? Imagine, I just arrive here since the beginning of this video, I'm talking for 14 minutes, for instance, okay? And I just shift. My consciousness was there in someone else and shift within me, Aurélien, okay? And then I have the memories that I started this video 14 minutes ago, okay? And even that I wake up the morning, I play with my kid and so on and so forth, okay? And before I did that, I prepared the text and so on, the video and so on. So I consider I myself due to my memories, but maybe it's not true. And I invite you to think about that. Maybe you just shift and you shift and you shift. Maybe we shift every single second, okay? And maybe every night we shift and we are just playing like, you know, musical chair. Think about that. Well, what would be reality in that case? But all this could be, let's say, surrealistic, surreal, right? And what is real? What is reality concretely? Are you the construction of your environment, the sum of the filters of external conditioning? That's to say, your education with your parents, your partner, okay, your husband or your spouse, your friends, your school, your colleagues, your language, okay, the laws in the country you're living, the history of your country, the history of the country you're living now, if you moved, the history of the world, knowing that the history has been built by the winners, of course, and probably reshaped sometimes. Let's say, the heritage of your family's genetic patrimony, okay? The mimicry of those around you, integration or rejection, okay? Your father was like this, so you reject it, or you adhere to it consciously or unconsciously. So the key question is, are you really you? Okay? You true I am, okay? Or are you what others want that you be? Or you have been shaped by the different filters of your environments, the close environments and the macro environment, the society and so on. This is the time to take off your mask, the mask of the masquerades. So the brain, the senses and the perception don't make the difference between real and the reality and virtuality. One of the proof is the first one was with the first screening, okay, this first film in the cinema. Actually, there was a scene with a train arriving like this, and everybody in the cinema went out by running and crying because they were afraid. For them, it was the reality. I did personally the experience, but a little bit different. I'm dizzy since 2007 in Vietnam. Suddenly it's appeared, but in 2016 and 2018 I did a lot of experiments with Oculus, 3D glasses, and actually, so I did different trials. I did Google Earth. I visited New Zealand, despite I'd never been there, and so on so far. I went to see the pyramid in Egypt. I see dinosaurs and so on, many things from the past. But I did something very interesting. I went to, it was the building of the Empire State Building in States, in New York. And I was very high, okay? And I swear to you, it's true. I had the vertigo. I was dizzy like this, and I was trembling, and I wanted to jump into the vacuum because I knew it was not real. I was just jumping 1 meter, but in the real room it was nothing. And I took a few minutes to jump, despite I was consciously aware the fact that it was unreal. So what's reality? Today, the metaverse is starting, okay? It's just the premise. It's just the beginning. But it's going to be worse and worse, or better and better, up to you to decide. But there are already some advertisements. There are already some plots to buy. You can buy a land in the metaverse, which is absolutely virtual. So is this real? Yeah, I mean, it's possible to pay for that, okay? It will be possible to pay for fashion, clothes for your avatar and so on. Is that real? Question mark. There will be some laws. Why? Because recently there was a case of a woman who has been abused, almost raped, okay? And she has been traumatized, okay? Why? Because reality, I mean, the perception doesn't make the difference with virtuality and reality. So what's real concretely? Here it is, the plan of the series of the 12 different videos. The first one will be, is this one, is the reason for being an introduction to endless topic, lay down the background. What's reality at first sight? 3, the cognitive biases. 4th, perception and beliefs. 5, techniques and advice for discernment and a form of lucidity. 6, how to impact its reality, your reality, and how does it work. 7, empathy and non-violent communication. 8, virtual reality and artificial intelligence. 9, Maya of illusion, okay, the myth of the cave, morphic fields, theory of the simulation. 10th, metaphysical dimension of the reality and mystical, esoteric dimension as well. 11, my personal sharing of different forms of reality and virtualities. I will share with you what I experience and which can be perceived as completely crazy. Like when I write books and so on, and special stories, they have been real. They impact even my own reality. Yes, it's true, and I will share with you, and apparently it's completely crazy. But, so the key question will be, is that real or not? And we will finish with conclusion, synthesis, and also an opening. So we will see a lot of themes, like, of course, a lot of existential question, cognitive biases, I told you, perception, beliefs, faith, false beliefs, limiting beliefs, illusion, hallucination, manipulation, propaganda, conspiracy, fake news, discernment, lucidity, and techniques, and also advice to avoid them, Mandela effects, visualization, law of attraction, co-creation, epigenetics, neuroplasticity, somatic dimension, quantum physics and dimension, how to change your reality and the realities, synchronicities, empathy, non-violent communication, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, the world of ideas, Akasha, Akashic records, morphic fields, collective unconsciousness, the matrix, simultaneous simulation theory, multiverse, transincarnation, transgenealogy, and so on and so forth. I will finish with some question again. Where are you when you sleep? I mean, not physically. Where is your mind? Where is your consciousness? What about your subconsciousness? Your subconscious? Who thinks about breathing when you sleep? Question mark. Optical illusion. For example, here, what do you see? Do you see a man or do you see a naked woman? One or the second one? Actually, you can see both because the reality is both, but you can only see once, not at the same times. You cannot see both at the same times. Same question for this one. What do you see here? Is the main page of the book Synthesis of Saint Thetis, for which I invite you to download because it's for free. What do you see? A Holy Grail or a, sorry, there is wind. Holy Grail or two faces? I know it's new, but actually, what do you see? Actually, what's the reality? Both are reality. And actually, the reality seems to be exactly like this, except there is no two options. There are an infinite number of options. And last but not least, what do you see here? Okay, what do you see here? 9 or 6? Okay, it's quite known as well, this one, but it's the reason why there are battles and wars of 6 and battles of 9 for years and centuries and so on. Of course, it doesn't exist, a battle of 6 and a battle of 9, but actually this is what we call proselytism. The fact that the first sight, the first perception is mine, and I adhere to it, or through my education and so on. So I want to impose it to everybody. It's true for religion, it's true for opinion, political opinion, for everything. And this is the reason why the world is in this state now, because we cannot tolerate the fact that we are in probably different realities. So let's continue with the notion of illusion. Okay, you have 2 eyes, so why don't you see double? Okay, question mark. If you were born in Iran or in Mali or in Bangladesh or in France or in Italy or in Poland, the same year you were born, do you think that you would have had the same perception and thereby the same sense of reality? Question mark. Same question. If you were born in the country you were born 200 years ago as a very rich person, would you have the same reality that now? And would you have the same reality than a guy, a peasant, for example? Question mark. You know, there is a very important consideration, because a lot of people, you know, after an event like a war and so on, they say, oh, I would have been resistant, oh, I would have done that, I would have been a hero and so on. But when you are part of the game, it's always easier to talk and to have a big mouth. A word to a wise. Do you consider yourself as handsome and or pretty? Question mark. Yes or no? It's binary, okay? I invite you to think about it. On a scale, second question, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you consider as handsome or pretty? Okay, 1 is ugly and 10 is extremely handsome, okay? Do you consider as narcissistic as well? It's a joke. So why I'm asking you that? What is beauty concretely? What is beauty? Is this beautiful? The weather is beautiful. Some people consider that the blue sky in certain countries is amazing. In France, we consider it as beautiful. But in a lot of countries, when they have always the sun and so on, they consider that the sky is more beautiful. So what is beautiful? What is beautiful? A tree is beautiful? You know, it's like a sex. The organ. Is it beautiful? Okay, a penis or a vagina is beautiful. There is a famous in the Louvre, the mystery of humanity. Okay, this is just a painting. Okay, with a vagina. And can you consider, without your let's say your preference, your sexuality, do you consider a vagina is beautiful and or a penis? I invite you to think about that. Do you consider a car is beautiful? Okay, so okay, maybe the ergonomy and so on. But how can we consider is beautiful? Same for fashion. I'm working in fashion for 20 years. Fashion, sometimes we design and we do for the trends, and we don't consider as our taste that is beautiful. Okay, and sometimes something is trendy, so it's beautiful, and then is has been. So it's old-fashioned, so it's not beautiful anymore. And then it's there is another generation, and it's a revival, and it's beautiful. So it's beautiful, then it's ugly, and then it's beautiful, and then, you know. So what is beautiful concretely? What is beauty? Is this real or not? Question mark. What is a thought? Sorry. How does it materialize? Okay, where is located a thought? Just a thought, an idea, for example, an idea. Where is located? Okay, how it is materialized? Question mark. Just one thing. we can hear a bird. You can hear, maybe. There is a bird. Okay, close your eyes. Imagine the bird. What's the sound? Where is this sound? The sound is the song. The sound is, we can measure with device, okay, with frequencies, with vibration in hertz, okay? Okay, no problem. But where is this sound? This sound is within the bird, okay? It is through, coming through the wind. It is within the wind, okay? And if there is too much wind, maybe you will not hear anymore, okay? It is, let's say, within you, all right? Okay, it is within you, I mean, in your ear, or it is in your head, and so on, okay? So, question mark. If in 10 minutes after this video, you think about this sound, you can recreate it, okay? And we could measure it also in your brain, probably with hertz. How is it possible? When you listen to music, okay, same, you can measure with hertz. When you have, you know, a song in the mind, you wake up the morning, at the radio you have a song, and during the whole day you have a song in the mind, okay? So there is hertz inside. Where are the sound? Where is the sound? And how is it possible that you can have the perfect melody, okay? And even if you personally sing out of the tone, okay, so it means when you try to emit some sound, it will be not, it will be, let's say, out of the tune, but in your mind, it is on the right tune. Okay, how it is possible this? Is this real? Imagine, so you have a bird, again, or me, okay? You have me in front of, where is, well, let's say the bird. Okay, where is the bird concretely? When you see, or a stone. Let's say, take a stone. Okay, you can see this stone. Where is this stone? Okay? In your eyes, in your mind, in your head, okay, in your hypothesis, and so on and so forth. What is this color? Is something like cream. Okay, you encode cream since the beginning of your birth. Okay, but who say is cream? Is your cream? Maybe your cream color is different of mine, and so on. We don't know actually. But if you close your eyes, you can let's say recreate this picture, this hologram even, okay, in 3D, you can recreate this stone. In 10 minutes, in few days, you could think about this stone and you can recreate it endlessly. But there is no pixel anymore. There is no colors anymore. The colors, we can also measure them in hertz, okay, in frequencies, hertz, okay? We can see in between 450 hertz and 700 hertz, okay? So the spectrum is very small. But how come you can recreate afterwards despite the fact you don't see? So when you see something, it is in your eyes, in your brain, and so on. And how come it can be reactivated in your brain? This is a question mark. When you close the eyes, okay, you have the black mirror, okay, like this. Is it at 1 centimeters? It is your point of focusing. It is 1 centimeter. It is 10 centimeters. It is 1 meter. It is 10 meters, 100 meters, 1 kilometer, and so on. You can project yourself like this. Try to do it several times, and you will see that the more I gaze at the darkness, after a while, the more darkness looks at me, because there is like a shift, because you're part of the observation. The object, the observer, and the observation makes as a block, okay? And this is quite fascinating. And this is when you get out of your ego, of your individuality, and you enlarge your perspective of reality, to understand and even to understand that you're part of the big wall. Well, I love this expression for a great scientist, John Wheeler, saying, talking about participatory universe. What does it mean? Reality exists thanks to our consciousness and our observation. It means that we are shaping according to our gaze, according to our vision, according to our feelings, and we will go much more deeper in the future to probably understand that we should probably more say, this is my word instead of this is the word. Does the word exist without our consciousness and our gaze? This is a question mark. We'll try to answer to this different question in the next series of video. Well, I hope it will help you to shape the master key, to open up the door of consciousness, of the field of consciousness, of love, of whatever you want. As you know, all the roads lead to Rome and to the Dome. Thank you for your attention and see you very soon.